You wake up, you commute, you put in 40 hours a week, and the paycheck finally hits your account. You feel good for about 48 hours. Then the rent comes out, the car payment hits, the subscriptions auto-renew. By the 25th of the month, you're staring at your bank app, wondering how you make a decent salary but still have absolutely nothing left over. Listen to me, it's not a lack of willpower. You aren't broken. The modern economy is actively engineered to drain a salaried paycheck. Corporations spend billions figuring out how to make parting with your money as frictionless and painless as possible. If you rely on raw discipline to fight back, you will lose. So, we're going to strip willpower out of the equation. We're going to build concrete behavioral walls around your money, so you don't even have the option to overspend. Here are 7 tips to make overspending impossible as an employee. Tip number 1, the Two-Account Firewall. The absolute worst thing you can do on payday is drop your entire paycheck into one giant checking account. It is a psychological trap, and almost every salaried employee falls for it. Let's break down the illusion of the first of the month. You log into your banking app and you see $4,000 or $5,000 sitting in checking. Your brain looks at that big number and immediately signals safety. You feel flush. You feel secure. And because you feel rich today, you subconsciously give yourself permission to loosen up. You say yes to the expensive dinner, you upgrade your phone, and you finally buy the items you left sitting in your online cart. What your brain conveniently ignores in that dopamine rush is the electric bill, the car insurance, and the student loan payment that are scheduled to hit on the 14th, the 20th, and the 26th. When you mix your survival money with your lifestyle money in the exact same account, the math turns against you. Behavioral economists have tracked this behavior for years. Commingling your funds leads to a subconscious overspend of roughly 15 to 20% every single month. Think about that. If your take-home pay is $5,000 a month, you are accidentally bleeding out up to $1,000 just because the pile of cash looks big enough to absorb it. You aren't blowing your money on luxury vacations. You are bleeding it out on $20 takeout orders, random app subscriptions, and impulse buys at the register. It is death by 1,000 cuts. Here is the permanent, unbreakable fix. You are going to sever your survival money from your spending money. You need 2 completely separate checking accounts, ideally at 2 completely different banks so you aren't tempted to transfer money between them on a Friday night. Account A is your vault. This account is strictly for your fixed, non-negotiable survival costs: rent, utilities, car payments, basic groceries, and insurance. The money that keeps a roof over your head goes directly in here. You set all your mandatory bills to auto-pay out of the vault. The physical debit card for the vault gets locked in a desk drawer. You do not carry it. You never swipe it. Account B is your life account. This is the money left over after the vault is funded and your investments are handled. This is for weekend drinks, hobbies, clothes, and random Tuesday night tacos. This is the only debit card you are allowed to carry in your wallet. To set this up, log into your company's payroll portal, whether that's ADP, Workday, or whatever HR software you use, and split your direct deposit at the source. Route your exact monthly fixed costs into the vault, and route the remainder into your life account. The rule from this day forward is brutal, but it works. When account B hits 0, your spending stops. Period. You do not transfer a dime from the vault. You do not put a bar tab on a credit card. You eat the leftover pasta in the fridge, you stay home, and you wait for the next paycheck. It completely removes willpower from the equation, and it guarantees your basic survival is never threatened by a weak moment. Tip number 2, the hours of your life rule. Swiping a piece of plastic or tapping your phone on a glowing screen completely hides the true cost of your human labor. The financial system wants you entirely disconnected from what a dollar actually represents. When money just feels like a digital score on an app, it is incredibly easy to spend. We need to permanently fix how you perceive a price tag. Right now, you look at a jacket, a concert ticket, or a dinner out, and you see a dollar amount. You need to start seeing those items in the raw hours of your life. Let's break down the brutal math of being a W-2 employee. If your salary comes out to $30 an hour, you probably look at a $150 dinner and think, okay, that is 5 hours of work. I can handle that. But that is a complete lie. You do not actually make $30 an hour. First, the government takes its cut. Federal taxes, state taxes, Medicare, and Social Security siphon off the top. Then your employer deducts your health insurance premiums. Suddenly, your actual take-home pay is closer to $22 an hour. But we aren't done. You have to factor in the hidden costs of simply showing up to your job. You pay for gas, you pay for car maintenance, you pay for parking or transit passes. You buy specific clothes just to sit in an office. And you spend unpaid time commuting both ways. When you subtract the financial and time costs of holding your job, your true, usable net income drops to roughly $18 an hour. Now, let's look at that $150 dinner again. At $18 an hour, you are not trading 5 hours of your time for that meal. You are trading over 8 hours. You are trading an entire, grueling shift of your life. Think about your most frustrating day at work. Think about the useless meetings, the annoying emails, the exhaustion of the afternoon slump, and the traffic you sit in on the way home. Did you just endure an entire Tuesday of that misery just to eat a mediocre steak on a Saturday night? This is your new framework. Never look at a price tag in dollars again. Take your actual take-home pay, the exact amount that hits your bank account every 2 weeks, and divide it by the hours you work and commute. Find your true hourly wage. Before you buy anything you don't strictly need to survive, run the calculation. Ask yourself out loud, is this jacket worth 2 full days in the cubicle? Is this car upgrade worth giving up an entire week of my life every single month? When you force your brain to translate dollars back into the sweat, stress, and time it actually took to earn them, impulse spending almost completely vanishes. Tip number 3. The zero-click friction. Tech companies have spent billions of dollars studying human psychology to solve one very specific problem: how to eliminate the pain of paying. When you hand over a physical $50 bill, your brain registers a loss. It physically hurts. But when you double-click the side of your phone or click a single button on a checkout page, it doesn't feel like spending money. It feels like a video game. Apple Pay, saved browser credit cards, and one-click checkouts are intentionally designed to bypass the logical center of your brain and tap directly into your impulse reflexes. Let's look at the numbers. Behavioral data shows that frictionless, zero-click environments increase impulse buying by roughly 25%. If you are making $60,000 a year, that 25% bump in mindless spending across late-night online binges, food delivery apps, and digital subscriptions equals thousands of dollars bleeding out of your net worth annually. You aren't losing your money to massive, life-ruining purchases. You are losing it to the absolute ease of convenience. To stop this, you have to engineer the friction back into your life. You need to make spending money annoying again. Your mandate for today is to go into your phone and browser settings and delete every single saved credit card. Erase them from Chrome. Erase them from Safari. Go into your shopping accounts and completely disable one-click buying. Unlink your cards from the food delivery apps that drain your weekend budget. From now on, if you want to buy something online while you are relaxing on the couch at 9 at night, you have to earn it. You have to physically stand up, walk into the other room, dig through your bag to find your wallet, pull out the physical card, and manually type in all 16 digits, the expiration date, and the security code. 90% of the time, you simply won't do it. The dopamine spike you got from adding the item to your cart will fade by the time you stand up. By forcing yourself to do the physical work, you give your logical brain the 30 seconds it needs to wake up and step in. Friction kills the impulse. Tip number 4. The 48-hour quarantine. Let's talk about what actually happens in your brain when you shop online. The exact second you click Confirm Purchase, your brain floods with a massive hit of dopamine. You feel a sudden rush of excitement. But here is the brutal truth. That chemical high has absolutely nothing to do with the item you just bought. You are addicted to the anticipation. You are chasing a chemical spike. Think about how many times a package has arrived on your doorstep, and by the time you rip open the cardboard box, the thrill is already completely gone. The item just becomes another piece of clutter sitting in your apartment. The retail industry relies on this emotional blind spot. They need you to act fast before logic has a chance to kick in. But if you introduce time into the equation, their entire strategy falls apart. The math proves it. Consumer data shows that enforcing a mandatory 2-day waiting period on non-essential purchases eliminates over 80% of online impulse buys. By simply waiting, you instantly keep 80% of that lost money in your own bank account. So, we are going to implement the 48-hour quarantine. From now on, whenever you get the urge to buy something online, you don't have to deny yourself immediately. Go ahead and shop. Pick out the exact item, choose your size, choose your color, and drop it right into the digital shopping cart. And then, you close the browser tab. You set an alarm on your phone for exactly 48 hours. Over those next 2 days, the dopamine in your system is going to crash. Your brain will return to its baseline, logical state. When that alarm goes off 2 days later, you get to make a rational choice. If you still genuinely need the item, and it actually fits into your life account budget, buy it. But the vast majority of the time, the urge will be completely dead. You will look at the cart and wonder why you were about to trade your hard-earned paycheck for it in the first place. Tip number 5. The Payday Ghost. The biggest lie the middle class tells itself every single month is, I will just invest whatever is left over at the end of the month. Let me save you years of financial frustration. There will never be anything left over. Human behavior is governed by a concept called Parkinson's Law. This law states that your expenses will automatically expand to meet your exact income. If you have $3,000 sitting in your checking account, you will subconsciously find a way to justify spending exactly $3,000. Waiting until the 28th of the month to see if you have any room left to invest is a guaranteed recipe for working until you are 70. You have to take the money before you even have a chance to miss it. We call this the payday ghost. Let's look at the undeniable math of hiding money from yourself. If you automate just $200 to leave your account on the 1st and the 15th of every month, you are moving $400 a month into investments. Because it happens in the background, you probably won't even feel that money missing from your daily life. But over a single decade, compounding at standard market returns, that invisible habit builds a portfolio worth over $60,000. The execution here is everything. You cannot trust yourself to manually transfer the funds. You will always find an excuse not to do it. You will look at your car that needs new tires or the vacation your friends are planning, and you will skip the transfer. You have to ghost the money before you even wake up. Log into your investment account today. Set up an automatic transfer that pulls your money at 2 in the morning on the exact day your paycheck clears. By the time your alarm goes off, you drink your coffee, and you check your bank app, the money is already gone. It is safely locked away in the market, buying you your future freedom. You never saw it, you never felt it, and you cannot spend it. Tip number 6, the weekend cash limit. For the average employee, Monday through Thursday is a controlled environment. You are too busy working to do any serious financial damage. But Friday night through Sunday night is where middle-class wealth goes to die. You survived another grueling week, so you justify the bar tabs, the overpriced brunch, and the endless card swipes because you feel like you earned a reward. You just keep tapping that piece of plastic. Here is the danger of weekend swiping. When you tap a card, there is zero emotional friction. Your brain does not process that you are losing resources. But behavioral economics proves that humans spend roughly 15 to 20% less when they are forced to hand over physical paper. When you hand a bartender a $50 bill and get back a few singles, your brain registers a tangible, undeniable loss. You literally watch your safety net shrink right in front of your eyes. We are bringing back physical cash, specifically for your weekend. Here is your new Friday routine. On your way home from the office, you stop at the ATM. You look at your life account budget, and you withdraw your exact weekend allowance in cash. Let's say it is $150. You put that cash in your pocket, and you leave your debit card locked at home. You go out, you enjoy your weekend, and you pay for every single thing with paper. The absolute boundary is this: when the cash runs out, your weekend spending is over. You do not ask a friend to cover you on Venmo. You do not pull up Apple Pay on your phone. You pack it up and you go home. This physical boundary forces you to prioritize what you actually care about, and it completely eliminates the Sunday morning nightmare of checking your bank app and realizing you just blew 3 days of wages in 48 hours. Tip number 7, the promotion blackout. You grind for years. You take on extra projects, you tolerate the office politics, and you finally land the promotion. Your take-home pay goes up by $5,000. You feel like you finally have some breathing room. So what do? The very next week, you sign a lease on a slightly nicer apartment. You trade in your car for a newer model. You start paying for convenience. This is lifestyle creep. It is an endless treadmill, and it is the exact reason why there are W-2 employees making $150,000 a year who are still completely broke, living paycheck to paycheck, and suffocating under stress. Let's look at the brutal math of a typical raise. If you get a $4,000 bump in your take-home pay for the year, and you immediately absorb that new money by taking on a $300 a month car payment, what did you actually achieve? The mathematical impact on your net worth is exactly zero. You took on more stress at work, you took on more responsibility, and you just handed every single extra dollar directly to a bank. You are running faster, but you are stuck in the exact same place. If you want to permanently escape the middle-class squeeze, you have to implement the promotion blackout. The rule is this: whenever you get a raise, a bonus, or a decent tax refund, you do not upgrade your lifestyle. You pretend that money does not exist. The exact day that new salary kicks in, you log into your HR portal or your investment account, and you set up an automatic diversion for 100% of that new income straight into your investments. You continue living on yesterday's salary. Your baseline survival is already covered by your old paycheck. Every single new dollar you earn from this point forward should not be buying you a nicer car or more expensive clothes. It should be buying your way out of the 9 to 5 entirely. That is how you stop working for your money and force your money to finally start working for you.